Yo, everyone. DrJaceAttorney bringing the Yonko table back into session yet again with the Penguin, DCU's, well, actually, no, not the DCU's, but DC's favorite new hit TV series. We've been loving the Penguin, and we're 2 episodes in to this new series set in the Batman universe. We're gonna get into the nitty-gritty as to Oswald Cobblepot's deep dive into the Falcone mobster family. But with me, as always, is fellow Yonko, Grandmaster. Grandmaster, I know you watched this episode of the Penguin with piss and vinegar, and I know you're despising it. Just can you tell me you survived at least getting through to the end? Can you tell me, please?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
They made the references. They said the things.
They said something. It was fine.
Yeah, it was good, right?
It was fine.
Oh my God, I'm gonna turn things over to Dr. Mondo. Dr. Mondo, please help me out here. I know for a fact that this episode 8, I don't know, for me it did. For me, it kind of added a little bit more to the believability of the Gotham City. You know, I feel like I'm in Gotham now. I feel like I'm in Gotham.
No, like, I think this was in my opinion, a slower burn than last week's episode.
Yes.
But still, it ate. It was still a great episode. I feel that I'm in Gotham. I think it was, as some people maybe would call it, maybe daring, as to just reference and make sure that this is the Gotham that we all know and love. I know some people had a problem with that in the first episode. Like, I don't know, I'm not mentioning names. I don't know who those people are by names. I just heard it around the grapevine.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, I think they did just enough in this episode to kind of build off of where they left off in the Batman, and even with last week's episode as well. It's more or less a downfall from what we got last week. You know, Oswald killed Alberto Falcone, and he's still seeing the repercussions of that. And I said this last week, but I like how each action that's taken in this series is a direct consequence of that. It's a domino effect. One cause and effect happens another. I like series like that. I feel like that makes for better storytelling. I don't know if you're in the same boat too. I don't know if Grandmaster is. I think he's on his phone. I'm not sure. I have no idea.
We're waiting for you, Grandmaster. Come on, like illuminate us.
Help me out here.
What's the question?
Terrible. Can you focus, please? Can you do us the courtesy? I understand it's not Agatha.
Trying to find Frank Sinatra song that was featured in the episode.
Is that it? What was that? Was that what you were trying to do?
That's what I'm trying to do right now. See, y'all don't even know what songs are featured in the episode.
You know what? No, enlighten me. Go ahead. Tell me.
Nothing. It's just
help me out. I want to learn.
Irresponsible song.
The one at the end?
No, the one. And I think he was dancing with his mom.
Oh, that was a nice scene. I like that. He's got a soft side to him. You don't like that level of depth?
It's fine.
Oh my God, Jesus. It's like, why, how come to talk about this show, it's like pulling teeth out of you? Why is that? You're from top to bottom with Agatha, you're like, oh my God, Agatha, the mystery, I love the mystery. Come on. Help me out here.
It's fine, and nothing I say y'all are gonna like, so it doesn't
Yeah, no, we want to hear it. Come on.
It doesn't matter.
This table is an open forum. Dr. Mondo has said what he liked about the episode. He even criticized it. He said it's a little bit of a slow burn, which I agree. It's a little bit more slower paced than last week's episode. I think that there's not too many plot twists or climaxes in episode 2, but I still thought it was enjoyable. I think you get a deep dive, an even deeper dive into his character. But what did you like in this episode versus what you didn't like? We're here to hear it. Come on.
everything is serviceable. I've seen, though, again, not having the daring part with regards to the comic book tie-in is not just regarding Gotham as an identity. It's a huge part of it.
Okay.
There's more to that. And I say this because I've seen this plot before. Specifically what happens for Oswald in this episode.
You've seen it in another series.
I've seen it in another crime series before.
What?
I literally sat there and I was like, where have I seen this before? And
Don't say
where I have
Breaking
seen it
Bad.
before, it wasn't Breaking Bad.
Don't
It's
say
actually
Better Call Saul. Oh my
Better Call
God.
Saul. It was Better Call Saul.
Is it a specific scene that you're talking about?
Not a specific scene. It's a specific character arc where Nacho Varga is basically coerced into pitting the Salamancas against Gus Fring's operation, and he has to, kind of act as a mole and also set up certain things to go down in favor of the other crime family, and hinder and mess up their drug operation. I've seen it before. In Better Call Saul, I like to argue, all right, I say when I talk about Better Call Saul, I say one can argue that it's better than Breaking Bad. I don't know where I stand with that statement, but I will listen to someone who wants to argue that, because Better Call Saul is quite good.
Okay.
And so watching this, the whole time, I was like, oh, Oz is literally the Nacho in the scenario. And he's not necessarily coerced. He's just trying to move on up. That was the major difference. But I've seen this executed better as far as storytelling goes. So that's why I say it's serviceable, because I've seen this before. When you don't have that comic book background to really elevate the
Here
show,
we go.
I'm going to say this is another generic crime show. And if you don't know what I'm speaking about, you wouldn't have, you can only shake your head, correct? Because if you don't know Better Call Saul, then you don't know what I'm referring to.
I know Better Call Saul.
Good and well,
No, it's that we've evaluated generic shows and not called them generic shows. We're just cherry picking here.
I'm literally not cherry picking. I am telling you why I don't think this is better than what I'm referring to right now. Because there's nothing that elevated this. There's nothing that elevated this.
You needed that theme. The theme of Gotham. The theme. Like, you needed a theme to set it above what...
I need the comic book. I need Batman. And
Oh,
his origins.
damn it.
Not Batman. I'm talking about, this is a Batman.
You mean the Batman mythos, not Batman literally.
Correct. I need this
Okay.
to elevate the show, and I'm not getting it to where I don't find this daring, and I don't find myself caring to watch it when compared to watching something like Better Call Saul.
No, the thing is that it's so. I'm just gonna say, like, it just doesn't make sense what you're saying.
Have you seen Better Call Saul?
I'm not referring to the Better Call Saul.
I've seen it.
Have you seen Better Call Saul?
I've seen it.
That's why I'm not argumenting with
And
you.
so therefore, what I'm saying might not make sense to you.
No, but it's like, it's not the Better Call Saul part that doesn't make sense to me. And that I'm not even trying to, like, form an opinion of, because I haven't seen Better Call Saul. Like, you just jumped the gun here. It's like, what I'm trying to say, like, the Batman mythos that you're saying, oh, like, it's not daring. Like, I'm sorry, my definition of daring would be that they did something a little bit unexpected in that aspect. Because something that wouldn't be daring was kind of shoehorning, like, Batman or his mythos into a story of the Penguin, which, again, we've seen it in the comics. It's fine. And, like, I love Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero. And, like, you can show me Batman and, like, you have me hooked immediately. But I find it daring that you're actually trying to, hey, focus on a character from the Batman universe and saying, like, hey, he is a character that, yes, he is tied into Batman in the series and like in the comic books. We know this. But let's dive into what makes the character like Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. And you don't need the Batman and his mythos to truly, explore, make a character study of the man who is Oswald Cobblepot. So in that sense, I think it's daring, because what you're saying they aren't daring enough. Well, something that wouldn't be daring is taking an easy way and just saying, you know what, let's put Batman in the show, or like something Batman related in his mythos, in his history, to try to capture people. No. We're going to explore this character. The show is named The Penguin, and it's named The Penguin because we're exploring the Penguin. We're in Gotham. We know we're in Gotham.
And
what I'm saying.
well, how about this? By your definition, what would be considered daring? Because, for example, right, I would see an episode like this, right, episode 2, as another daring deep dive into Cobblepot as a character. And I think that's interesting because you know who Cobblepot was to me before this series, before it started? He was that Cockney bastard from Arkham City. Like, oi, it's the Batman. Where's the Batman? Oh, come over to the Iceberg Lounge, Batman. Like that's Cobblepot to me. He's just a generic mob boss that is more or less the kingpin from Spider-Man of the Batman mythos. And that's all there is to his character. But here, even in this episode, he's treating Vic like pure garbage. Just absolute garbage. But at the same time, there's like a soft side to him that you don't see anywhere else, where he's like kind of caring for Vic, but like in a messed up way. He's like having him bury bodies for like part of a scheme that he hatched, where he's trying to pin things on the other Falcone members or the Maroni families. But I never have once seen that side of Cobblepot, of Penguin, in anything DC related. So for me, that's daring. No one's done that before. No one's done a character dive into someone like that. So when you say it's not daring, that's where you kind of lose us. Where we're like, well, I know you want the Batman mythos to be front and center. You want to be reminded, for the most part, that this is Gotham City. Batman's floating around in the corner somewhere in this mafia manner. I don't know. What's your definition of daring? Daring.
The point of everything that I've been saying.
No, daring. Like what? I'm asking. I'm asking to learn.
Don't lean into the Batman mythos.
Okay.
This show becomes another crime show that does not distinguish itself from other base crime shows. You don't need necessarily the Batman mythos, but without it, I now look at this show next to Better Call Saul, and I say to myself, I've seen the story and it's been done better. Shows can be on par with one another, but the Penguin, because it chooses not to lean into its mythos, does not distinguish itself from other similar shows for me. So, you take out the mythos in that element, you have a mob show about a soldier in the mob trying to move on up. I've seen this in other shows, and it is not distinguishing itself from other shows. It's a character study. You're right. That is daring. You don't get the Penguin. You're right. You either get top hat, umbrella with knives, or you get the Cockney one from
Arkham City.
Arkham. Here you just have another New York accented mobster trying to move on up in the world with a waddle. That's not enough for me. Because again, you have a source material you can lean into, and when you choose not to, I have no choice but to compare it to other shows that are also grounded in reality. And if the stories and plots are familiar, I'm going to look at them and say which one's done it better. Specifically this episode, it reminded me nothing more than Better Call Saul.
So
specifically Nacho Vargas' arc in the later seasons.
So I know what you're talking about regarding Better Call Saul, because I've seen all of Better Call Saul. Despite the comparison with that, is it not still engaging enough to see like Penguin think on the fly to like try and figure out like, oh, we can't pin the route being compromised on Jimmy Valdini, whatever the hell is.
I call it serviceable because.
But serviceable just gives like it's barely passing. Like it's.
Yeah, it barely passes. Because the moment where they failed, and the moment where he stabbed them, I was like, oh, he stabbed him. I don't know why he did that. And then I realized, oh, he's planting the knife, and he wanted to plant it on Johnny Vitti.
Johnny Vitti.
Okay. And then he did it on the other guy. So, but like, I've seen this before. That's what I'm saying. I've seen this plot before,
Okay,
so therefore,
I
I've seen it done better.
Okay.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like I've seen like if they were to put like just shoe in the Batman mythos into any into any villain arc or whatever of any character, or just like really say let's lean back on the comic book part of it all. That's been done time and time again. It's like, which again, I would have no problem with it. I'm not saying that like I would have hated the show if they did that. No, it's like but at the same time, it would have been like, okay, like they've done it time and time again. I think it's like not leaning into the mythos, like the message they are trying to give you is that we're trying to focus on this character. It's like it's. Like, that this is Gotham. You know that the Batman is around there. You know that he is a Batman villain. You know this. You know all this information. Like there's no reason why you need to remind me constantly or even like intermittently. We know this. And let's just focus on the character that is Oswald Cobblepot. We've seen in 2 episodes kind of like who he is. He is that guy that's constantly like he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's constantly looking out for himself, but at the same time, he's looking out for his family in his own twisted kind of way. In Vic, he sees someone very similar to himself, like someone with a disability. By the way, with a different kind of disability, and he's like grooming Vic, and he has that soft spot for Vic, and like all that, like you can kind of see the type of character that he is, but at the same time, the piece of shit that he is. Like he's literally. Just
I'm watching the same show. I know.
Yeah, but
he's a terrible person.
No, I know you're watching the same show as
he sometimes convinces me that he's a good person, and I know he's not.
You're watching the same show, yet at the same time,
I understand everything that's going on in the show. What I am saying is everything. I'm not. See, one, you can lean into the Batman mythos. That doesn't mean your show's gonna be bad. You can lean into the Batman mythos, and that doesn't mean. Well, you're leading with this negative connotation.
No,
what I'm saying, daring because they've done it before.
And then I said, if they did that, it wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't say, oh, the show is bad. I literally said that right after.
You're saying it as if you can only do one or the other. You can't lean into the mythos and not focus on the character of Oswald.
I'm just saying that I prefer this approach. It's like if you're making
you can prefer this approach, and I prefer they do lean into the mythos because without them leaning into the mythos,
Ice to meet you.
But to look at other shows that are similar to the show, and then I say to myself, how can they distinguish themselves from other
focusing on Batman? That's how you make the show unique.
No, you don't have to focus on Batman. You can have a Penguin-driven show like Gotham, which I've brought up before, a show that I know is not even that great in quality of story.
Oh wait, you're talking about Gotham, the show?
I'm talking about Gotham.
You better be careful. Some people like Gotham.
They can like it. That's fine. I know there's better quality Batman mythos shows out there than Gotham. But one thing I will give credit.
Don't say Pennyworth.
One thing I'll give credit to Gotham is that they do lean into their mythos.
But again, what's the problem of not leaning into? again, it's like
I already told you my problem. I told you my problem.
no, I think we all know your problem, but like,
What's my problem?
You're dancing around the bush. Like you're dancing around the bush.
I've given you my problem.
Oh, Mamma Mia! You're not saying what you want to say.
I've been said it. I literally said it is a generic crime mob-based show to where I'm going to compare it to other grounded reality crime-based shows because there's nothing that distinguishes it from other grounded in reality crime-based shows. I've been said this. I'm not dancing around no bush. I made my point very clear. I made it very clear.
You don't. What about Sophia? You don't like Sophia? I think Sophia's a great character.
The best scene in this episode was the opening scene with her little flashback in Arkham/dream sequence, and I found that scene to be daring
because it references Arkham. You probably could have seen Mr. Freeze in the corner.
And these other crime-based, set in reality-based shows, you don't get dream sequences. You don't see that often in those shows. So I like dream sequences because from a storytelling standpoint, it's a visual representation of their psyche, you know? While other shows that are more set in reality where their storytelling is very, you know, in the moment, in the reality of the show versus a visual representation of their mind, I like getting those types of visual representations. So I liked Sophia's little dream sequence in the beginning. I liked that scene. I thought that was done really well. Other than that, though,
Probably like 20 seconds.
I don't think I care for her character.
Oh God! What? I almost had you. I almost had you.
I don't have to like every single character.
But do you,
something else to criticize.
but
Oh right. Okay. So here. Let me just.
No,
I'll
it's
log
like-
off. I'll log off.
no.
We don't critique
No, it's
things.
like no. It's like it's
Look.
You don't
Look.
have to like everything.
This is
Show does.
everything
has to be
like
likable.
you were saying it didn't feel like Gotham. This week they actually gave you like the things of Gotham.
You haven't even asked me about that. I
Something
said
else, like-
we're talking about Sophia.
but that's in reference to Gotham.
But I haven't said a single thing about Gotham. I haven't said a single thing.
So how about this? How about this?
These conversations aren't fun.
How about this?
Come with your premeditated response to everything. I'll say one thing about Sophia, but you last week you said you didn't like Gotham. We're not talking about Gotham. We're literally talking about Sophia.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
What about this?
Keep it.
Look.
No.
Look.
If we're on a topic, keep it on the topic.
Sophia, right? If you pull, you're not helping. You're not.
I find her generic. I didn't say her performance is bad.
You say
I find
her character is generic. What about her character?
generic.
how was
But like, what about it? Like her instability with like her psyche, or
Correct. We've seen it
is-
before.
so unstable.
In the Batman mythos, everybody's a psycho.
Joker's a psychopath.
Hangman.
Riddler's a psycho. Riddle me this, Batman. Am I deranged?
into the mythos now. So we're leading
Everybody's a
into the
psycho.
mythos.
That's not leaning into the
Is
mythos.
it-
I'm
No,
literally
like you said,
just
everybody-
saying.
Batman is a
I'm
psycho.
literally just saying. I mean, you could call it. I don't call.
I
it
mean, I
leaning
don't-
into the mythos. All
I-
I'm saying is that she's
You-
just another psycho in a.
But like,
Batman
I don't
movie.
even think it's like straight up like she's a psycho though. Like I think she's got something unstable about her, but she's not going around like, you know, stabbing people like randomly in like random rooms in Falcone Manor.
No, she's definitely trying to keep it together.
She's trying to keep it together, but like she has like I think she has a finesse with it. I think she has a bit of a finesse when it comes to how like unstable she really is as a person. So to me, like that doesn't come up as generic. To me, generic is she shows up in a straight jacket in the Falcone meetings. It's like, I'm crazy, Batman. I'm crazy, Penguin.
No, if they had to do that, they would never have let her out to begin with.
But that to me is that is like
Money.
that
They got money.
they got money. They got money. Although, look, and then not only that, speaking of they would not have let her out, they even tie it back to the whole thing with the flooding with Arkham. They said they let out people from Arkham Asylum because of the flooding, because of the destruction of Gotham. I don't know if that's the right decision. I don't know if I'd be letting out people like Crocodile and Mr. Freeze. Oh, the MCU. I don't know all the characters. I don't know my DC characters. Did they let out Red Hood?
Why would Red Hood?
You would know. You would know. You would know. You would know.
Probably be a little kid.
But I don't think she's generic. I don't think she's generic.
Okay, I hear you. You feel that she's generic. Okay, you feel that she's generic. What exactly about her? Like, and like really detail it because like again.
But wait, why can't I just say generic? Why can't?
Well, because
I don't understand why she's generic.
Because I think from
She's another psycho in a long list of Batman psychos. That's it.
But you don't think it's deeper than just her being psycho though? Like just her performance? You don't think?
Performance is fine.
No, but I
It's good.
well, okay, let me rephrase performance.
She's a psycho.
Not performance. I guess her portrayal. Her portrayal.
Her portrayal is fine.
But you say I don't know. To me generic.
If you tell me we're in Gotham and here's a psycho, I'm gonna be like, oh, right, we're in Gotham. That makes sense.
But doesn't that add to the believability that it is in Gotham? Doesn't that go back to what you were saying last week that you want to believe it's Gotham? Look, here's another psycho. Here's a psycho from a very prestigious mobster mafia family, and she's insane. She's unstable. She has a Batman supervillain name, the Crooked, no, the Hangman, right? Or Crooked Man. The Hangman, there it is. See? Come on. That's a villain.
Sure. I don't think one character is gonna be that definitive identity of Gotham that I was talking about last week. Now, if you want to talk about the identity of Gotham, I did think there were some things here that I liked. You know, hey man, I need some drops. We're in a drought, man. Like, come on, man. You can thank the Riddler. Cool. That is a cause and effect from Batman, the Batman. Which I said I would like to see a cause and effect from those chain of events.
There were Riddler signs too. Riddler, you saw the Riddler.
Pause because I didn't want to pause, but I know too when Vic was looking at the sign and they mentioned his neighborhood again, got the worst of the flood.
That was another one. That was another on the flyer.
I like that. But I said this last week too. It's a lot of it is in dialogue. I want to be able to see it more. There was another radio bit in this episode as well that I thought was good too, talking about the mayor-elect and whatnot.
Right. Yes.
But again, at this point, a lot of it is indeed, again, just dialogue. I appreciate it. I want more visual representation. Again, I say it like this. They live in a world with the Batman who just defeated the Riddler. And again, you don't need Batman in your show, but there is no sense of fear that Batman might come fuck up their route when they're moving the drops. You know.
So, okay.
Hey, come on, guys, we gotta go.
No.
We got the cops on us. Maroni family's out, and we got that fucking bat.
Look, I hear what you're saying. I just find it a little bit hard to believe a little bit.
You don't have to believe.
No. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Yes.
It's like, I think there's some things that just, they don't make sense to me. Like one of the things, it's like you're saying like, oh, like I liked how they mentioned these things and all that. Like they mentioned a couple of things in the first episode as well. Like
I agree.
With the flood and all that, we kind of told you this. This is like
what did I say though?
Like a cause and effect.
You use the mayor of Townsville analogy.
Again, I said. But I want that visual.
But that's the part that again, it's like you want a visual of everything that happened. Like one, they kind of showed us in the first scenes of the first episode, like literally the destruction that went on because of Riddler. It's like we don't need that again. We know
You don't need that. I
No.
want that.
You want
So-
That elevates the show and
No.
storytelling for me.
No, it doesn't. You know
For
why?
me,
No, he knows what's good. He is a doctor. He knows the right medicine for you. He's got the medicine.
for me.
Grandmaster, like I let you finish your point. Let me finish.
But
mine.
you're trying to speak for me though. You're saying
No, you're saying
you don't need.
You're gonna take this medicine and you're gonna like it.
No,
Okay.
when I said you
Open.
you want. Say what you want. Don't speak for me.
I'm not speaking for you.
Say what you want. Say what you like. Don't worry about me.
Oh, but can you let me finish?
Don't make it
Let-
about me. I'm gonna cut you off if you make it about me.
It's a, like if you make a show about like seeing everything that happened because of the Riddler in Gotham, then the show is not named the Penguin. It's named
The Gotham City.
It's like, and again, like if that's what you want, that's fine. Like, but this is a show that's called The Penguin. I do not need them to show me, and this is me. I'm talking about me.
He's talking about Dr. Mondo right now. He's pay attention.
And I think a lot of people don't need a show about the Penguin to constantly be going in a direction saying, this is what the Riddler destroyed. This is the flood. This are the drops. These are like, that's the Gotham. It's not the Penguin. They showed us what the Riddler caused in the first scenes, and they showed them pretty well. You don't need to see that again.
For
You know,
you. For you. For you.
Reminder! Remind me! Remind me!
I don't need a reminder. What I just said.
What if- What if
the
it's
dialogue is good? The next thing you do is put the dialogue and give it a visual background. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say that you need to stop everything you're doing and rewrite this whole entire scene because this doesn't show Gotham and this doesn't do this for the Penguin series. If you're gonna use the dialogue to establish what's going on in the world, easily you can fit the dialogue with a visual background to elevate it. Dialogue is level 1. Dialogue and visual is level 2.
I think if you can paint a scene with a dialogue, that's much greater than just like.
And I don't think they did that. That's why I want the visual. I don't think they did that. That's my problem with the show.
What if it's because Gotham is more synonymous with Batman? Maybe that's why you got it in the Batman, right? Like,
Hold on,
you
I
know,
hope you know Derpy is agreeing with me. I hope you know.
I'm agreeing with Derpy. I like world.
He's agreeing with me. I hope you know.
Derpy in the chat is saying that it's called world building. I agree that good world building is necessary in any show, especially one that's a comic book. And I think in this, they've been doing that when they show you characters that are coming straight from Arkham. You have characters referencing the flooding from the city with the Riddler. You have, even still, people promoting Riddler propaganda out in the streets, like at random events. I mean, that is still world building. Everything is consistent still.
Yeah, and again, it's like you're building the world within the world, like the microcosm within it. Like it's not just like the Batman. It gave us this whole
Like he's still there. Like he's still no, but look, here's the thing. He is still there. But remember, this is still early beginnings of the Batman. He's on year 2, right? Year 2 from the Batman, right?
Give or take.
Yeah, he's like either year 2, year 3 max.
or end of year one.
End of year 1, yeah. So this is still fresh and green, early Batman. These thugs, like these, especially these organized families, they're not paying attention to him. He's still not a threat. They probably heard things about him through the grapevine, like, oh yeah, there's like a psychopathic bat like running around and beating up the smaller criminals. I'm telling you, the organized crime families, they don't care. They don't
I
care.
ask you again. I asked this last week. When was the last time you watched the Batman?
when it came out in theaters, the time it was meant to be watched.
All right, when Falcone got arrested, and then when he died, Batman ran up into the Iceberg Lounge, beat up everybody,
Okay.
and dragged Carmine out there. They are aware of him and what he can do.
No, I'm not saying that they're not aware of him. Like they know he exists. It's impossible for them to know. There's a guy in a Batman suit running around being dumb with criminals out there. But in terms of him being like a physical threat, that's always, because the way I'm seeing it, I keep thinking you're going back to like Batman the Animated Series. Because that was a show, right, where Batman is in his prime. He's been out on the streets, and every criminal, when they go onto the streets, they're looking around the corner saying, boy, is the Batman around? We gotta do this exchange right away. That you're thinking that the Batman is set during prime era Batman, where everyone is worried that he is a constant threat to them. But these organized families that have been here for decades, they're like, Batman's a footnote. Batman's a footnote in this. It's not an excuse. It's early Batman. It's early Batman.
I think it's easy to say that, but we've only seen, like you said, one faction in this show of the crime in Gotham, and I feel by the end of the Batman 2022. Batman has earned some of that fear.
But also piggybacking on what Dr. J said, it's like, because I think he brought a really good point, that like the Gotham that we expect, because like to be fair, like we saw Batman animated series, we'd seen like other stuff, right? I think it's like this is not the Gotham we quote unquote know or have been, given yet. It's like the criminals that Batman, that makes, that like encompass all of Batman's mythos and all that, they're coming up. It's like, or they're not there yet. Like the Penguin is not the Penguin yet. All these, like the only one that we've truly seen is the Riddler. It's like,
right.
This is Gotham almost in its infancy, in the infancy of what
Gotham is still a baby.
It's like in its
Gotham's not a baby.
A baby in the mythos of Batman.
And that's
Batman. You could say Batman is a baby.
No, and Gotham as a whole as well. Like we haven't seen again. Like Penguin is not even Penguin yet.
Penguin doesn't have to be Penguin.
No, but Penguin.
He will be eventually.
Batman. We still haven't seen, other villains in the Batman mythos. Like again, this is Gotham, but it's kind of like a Gotham in its infancy to the adult Gotham that we know. That it's like all that with all those villains, a Batman that is a lot more prominent, that's already seasoned. A seasoned warrior when it comes to going against Riddler. Not saying that he's not. No, like he made his mark. He made his mark from like the first movie. Of course, like he made himself known. He made his presence known, saying like, "Yo, there's this guy in town that like I know him by name, but still, I don't know if he's gonna be like a threat to everyone yet." Again,
okay,
and not the Gotham we know.
And I feel that is very weak to say. And again, I keep asking y'all,
what?
When's the last time you watched the Batman?
I saw it less than a year ago.
The Batman literally fucked up the Falcone operation. But he's got the father of the Falcone operation.
Grandmaster, I'm not saying
he is a presence in the Falcone zeitgeist, and to say he is not makes this not a good follow-up.
Wait, Grandmaster.
There is no mention of the Batman so far in the Penguin. And to me, that feels disingenuous to how the Batman ended. The Batman, literally, it was the Riddler and the Falcones. That was the primary antagonist of the Batman film. the Falcones are aware of Batman, and they should have a glimpse of reservations when it comes to doing things, because Batman was instrumental in their crime lord being taken out. He didn't take out, obviously the Riddler shot Falcone.
Correct.
But Batman came in there and literally, again, he chased the Penguin down a highway
That's the Penguin.
and flipped his car.
That was a good scene. I liked it.
Penguin hasn't mentioned the Batman once.
He is not preoccupied with it. He does not conquer his life.
And I say that's disingenuous to where you even left the Penguin's character from the first movie. I feel that's bad storytelling. I'm sorry.
What if in episode 3 he says, I remember the Batman. I'm trying to forget about him. I'm trying to forget.
Awesome. I would love.
Would you forgive everything then? Would you forgive? Would you? Would you?
Let me tell you. Here's the only key thing that I know that this is the same Penguin from the Batman 2022. His Spanish is on point. His Spanish was on point in the Batman when he was talking about, don't you know Spanish? Don't you know the difference between la and L?
I don't even remember that scene.
See,
That scene. I said that scene. I didn't say I remember the movie. I said that scene. I don't remember that scene.
oh, okay, yes. The Riddler left a riddle, and it was talking about El Rata.
Oh, that weak riddle. Yes, I remember that.
And the Penguin's like, don't you know the difference between Spanish, L, and La? And here in this episode, he speaks fluent Spanish to the landlord. That is the only indicator that I know that this is the same Penguin.
Gotham is real.
2022.
Gotham is real.
And again,
oh man,
the Penguin, you can have a show based on the Penguin. You can have a show that focuses on the Penguin.
Okay.
But this show is not only I'm sorry, but it's not only a Penguin-centered show. It is a direct continuation of the Batman 2022. And if you're asking me, as of now, based on 2 episodes, I can't say they're doing a great job as a continuation of Batman 2022. As a Penguin-centered show, it's serviceable. I find it serviceable.
That you might as well say that's a slur. Like that word is just so disingenuous.
This show has not elevated itself for me to distinguish it from other crime-based dramas.
Or other comic book shows.
No, because I don't see it using the comic book element.
God damn.
If this new drug is Venom, you might have
Is that's what it takes? That's what it takes? Venom.
Well,
Do you want Eminem to start singing the song too? Is that what's gonna hook you on there?
Okay, Venom, I'm talking about Bane's drug.
I am aware. They're both called Venom. Yes.
Eminem's song is for Venom.
Actually, the Venom song is from the Venom film. The Venom film. So you can't say the same thing.
You could have had a better joke. You could have had a better joke.
The point that is being made here is this is what gets Dr. Mondo on your ass about these references. You're telling me that a reference to Venom with the doping, or if it evolves, because they keep mentioning that they want to make like a new strain of it or a more powerful strain. So if that somehow evolves into Venom, where they're getting drugged up and pumped up with muscles, that's where you're gonna be like, oh, Gotham is real. Gotham is real. This is a universe. This is a universe.
We have a theory based on the Batman that Venom might already be in this world.
Oh yeah, wait, didn't we think that?
Yes, we did. We thought it was Venom. Whatever the hell Bruce pumped into him.
It was green. That's why it was green, and it kind of like, you know, hopped him up a little bit.
Correct. So
Okay, I remember that.
that is why I would like if Venom is this new drug, because that is a direct kind of tie-in right there. Connectivity.
I need connectivity in my projects to be good.
Listen, I do need connectivity because again, this is not a standalone project. This is indeed in Matt Reeves' world.
And I
And
feel
like
that
I said,
in Matt Reeves' world, I still feel that it's a continuation of the Batman. Now, the thing is, I think like my issue. This is my issue with a little.
my
bit
issue with the show, your issue with the show, or your issue with whatever I have to say.
with whatever you.
You don't have to have an issue with whatever. You can just say what you like about the show.
With an open mind. Like that's
don't have to- My mind is open. My
No,
mind
it's
is
not.
open.
Your mind is only open to references to Arkham and Venom.
Like,
Never
right,
once did I
okay.
say I'm not going to continue watching the show.
I'm not saying
Never
that.
once.
Do you want to keep watching it?
My mind is open. My mind is open.
Like an open mind is that you go to a show or a movie or whatever that you're watching, and that you don't hone in on one thing, and that everything else becomes cloud and it's a tunnel vision.
But that you haven't asked me. But
How about this?
No.
How about this?
You're making a general.
Do you?
No, because
You
like
haven't asked me every single bit
well,
of this episode.
I'm gonna give you an example of what that's tunnel vision
Don't
is.
generalize now, because
Well-
we haven't even really talked about the whole episode.
Like
What else? What else are there to talk about?
I'm trying to tell you like my example of like where's your tunnel vision. So like you're saying like what you were saying about like Venom and like the drops and all this like this connectivity, which is fine, you know, okay, connectivity. That if these things happen, you would kind of like, oh, that would change your entire. So it's like you have a problem with a specific aspect, a very specific point. Yet that specific point that you're having a problem with, you're kind of like taking other things that have nothing to do with that specific point.
What is
and
my specific
making
point?
everything into a problem.
What is
And
my
that you
specific
prefer-
point?
The specific point you're saying like, oh, this does not feel like Gotham. This does not feel like a continuation of the show. And it's like just because, let's say they mention let's say maybe they won't, maybe they will. I don't know. I'm not the writer. They mention Venom. That you would be like, oh, that would be cool. Then it's kind of like almost that you were forgiving everything. Like,
What
oh,
did I say though? What did I say about that though? My specific point. Because again, everything circles back to literally what I've been saying. I said if they don't do blank, what will I do?
And if they do blank, what would you do?
I said if they do not lean into their Batman mythos, their comic book source material, if they do not provide a continuation of the world building done in the Batman 2022, this show will feel like a generic crime mob based show, for which I will then compare it to other crime mob based shows. For this show does not have anything to elevate it, which if they leaned into their comic book based mythos with the Batman, or the continuation of the Batman 2022, this show will be elevated for me because it will have a distinguishable identity from the other crime mob based shows that it is similar to. But until they do that, I will call this similar to other crime mob based shows, and God forbid those other crime mob based shows did it better. Specifically, this episode reminded me of Nacho Vargas.
Okay, yes. From Better Call
I've
Saul.
already made my point so clear.
You don't like the powder keg that's about to explode with Sophia. Because Penguin keeps piling lies on top of lies on top of lies. Eventually, it's going to cascade down. Did you listen to the part where he's giving her this sob story about his family and how he grew up? And he specifically said his mother's dead. I am telling you that this is going to all cascade on itself, where Sophia's going to discover something about, Oswald's mother, that she's still alive, and she's going to shovel out all those lies that he's been piling on top of each other, and that's just going to explode. You're not, like, that's not suspenseful for you? Oh, mamma mia, no.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it before.
Don't say Grey's Anatomy. Don't say Grey's Anatomy.
I can say Grey's Anatomy, but again, I mean, a crime-based show that I've seen on multiple times.
Oh, which?
Very similar to Breaking Bad and the growing tension between Walt and Gus.
Okay.
I find that similar.
The powder keg, yeah.
Yeah.
But in watching that, you were always on edge, wondering when is this thing gonna explode? When is Gus gonna discover, you know, Walt's secret? Yeah. Okay. So
again, I'm not saying it's bad here. I'm saying it's serviceable.
how about this?
You're basically saying it's bad. Like,
I'm not saying it's bad. When I say serviceable, if I want to say bad, I'm gonna say bad.
So it's not bad. It's not bad.
I used to go to Jiffy Lube. You know why?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make it very.
serviceable.
Look, I'm gonna make it very easy for us to have the same definition of serviceable. Okay, let's put everything on a scale of 1 to 10 here. Like, okay, on a scale like 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 10. Is that bad? Is that bad?
Sure.
Okay, good. Okay, 5, and 6. Where's those? Like, it's not bad. What is 5 and 6?
Probably a 6.
The show's a 6.
No, we're talking. You're.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Point.
Okay.
Got it.
It
Okay,
is
so that
serviceable.
now we know. Now you know that kind of like on a scale of 1 to 10, when you're calling a show serviceable or a movie serviceable, you're talking about a 6 out of 10. Good. Now we're at the same definition. This is gonna it clears a lot of things up. Thanks.
Does it?
Well, yeah, like because again.
Well,
I didn't say it was bad.
On some scales, a 6 is a D. That's not passing the class.
Serviceable means you can watch this show.
Are you watching it?
Nobody did not watch this show.
How about this? 2 scenarios. Are you watching it out of obligation, or are you watching it because you're actually intrigued by what's going on? Because, for example,
right now it is definitely obligation.
So
that's obviously gonna influence a lot.
So for example,
I watch it out of obligation because I know A, we can have a conversation about it, but B, I'm not close off to this show becoming better or an idea of what I think it could do to be better. I am not close off to that.
okay.
That's good.
That's
I
good.
didn't say that.
No, you finally say it now.
No.
It took how long? 52 minutes to.
Grandmaster hates this show. I'm gonna burn down his world.
He escaped from Arkham Asylum.
He can't keep getting away with it.
He can't keep getting away with it.
This is Grandmaster's villain origin.
I'm already a villain.
Oh, that's why you're green.
Talk about the Maronis.
The Maronis, Mamma Mia. Well, what's there to say about the Maronis so that I know you paid attention? What is it?
Brown is the man.
Mr. Krabs, sure, he's great in anything that he's in. Yes. Did you want him to do the thing? Penguin, Oswald, Cobblepot.
Sal Maroni's in there. The Krusty Krab is unfair. Planning his oppression.
Lying at the concession. Oh my god.
Son is nothing. And what am I?
See that's heartfelt. That's heartfelt.
I'm not safe. I'm home.
Who says that?
Sophia.
Sophia. Oh god, because you just quoted the mother just now. So I'm like, wait, who in that scene says that?
I said no cilantro.
See, that was funny. I know that scene. You're like sticking a bar of soap in my mouth. See that, Mamma Mia, that's funny. Yeah, I know for a fact when you saw that scene, you were busting down, crying, laughing. I know you were.
I don't laugh. I write them down because I write down summertime. I go into the mindset. I said I'm gonna go on this pod and I'm just gonna say quotes for all my answers. Anytime they ask me something, I'm just gonna give them a quote.
Dr. Mondo, you're putting all the cilantro on my plate right now. Accusing me.
Kid, you should take a look.
I think he's got some quotable lines. The what?
Am I a fucking crystal ball?
Oh, that was episode 1. Yes.
Yeah, I'm giving episode 1 now. I asked for extra pickles and they gave me 2. Is it the standard is 1?
That's fun. See, come on, man. How are you not into this? You're into this. You're into this. You're into this.
To come on here and just
No,
be an
no, no.
ass.
Like, you know what? I think this is not a 6 for you. This should be a 7.
It's
It's-
serviceable. It's serviceable.
It's not enough.
It can be serviceable. That's not the worst thing in the world.
It is for sure.
No, it's not.
You-
I won't go watch reruns of Lazy Town with Sporticus because that show is awful. You gotta do the cooking by the book. I can go. I've rewatched episode 1 of The Penguin twice. I will probably rewatch this episode before episode 3 because it's serviceable. I will watch. Oh God, I will watch Spy Kids 3 Game Over because
Over this? You better stop.
despite its quality and just it's serviceable. I can laugh at it. The Penguin.
Come on, he's waddling like a penguin. That's funny.
And they called him the Penguin in this episode. I was ready for him to shoot people because he doesn't like to be called the Penguin. No, the show's serviceable. We'll see what more they do. I saw a theory that said they think Vic might be Victor Zsasz, which I was like, ooh.
Oh, wait. Oh, what? Oh, God, no.
There's 2 prominent Victor characters.
You know what? No, he does stutter. Doesn't Victor Zsasz stutter? Or
I don't think Victor Zsasz stutters.
I
but
thought he has some speech
there's
impediment.
listen, there's only 2 prominent Victor characters in the Batman mythos. Not
Victor-
that I need Victor to be anybody.
Victor
but
Freeze.
I saw people, Victor Freeze and Victor Zsasz.
Mm.
So I saw people saying that, and I was like, I doubt they're gonna go there, but interesting, sure. Yes, Penguin and Sophia, their dynamic is growing. It's becoming interesting. I'm sure Johnny Viti's next on the chopping block of the Falcone group, and I'm sure she's gonna catch on. Vic can't fuck up again,
But
which
yeah.
I don't blame him. It wasn't his fault.
No, it really wasn't.
I mean,
But
he was.
But I think it's cool. Like I like the dynamic between Penguin and Sophia, and between Penguin and Vic. And it's like it's very obvious that that Penguin sees in Vic a little bit of himself. You know, like that guy that everyone's just like scratching off. You know, like they're just like putting him aside again because of his disability. He doesn't look threatening. You know, all this stuff, and he sees him. It's like like. Look,
Maybe I'm more than you. Maybe I'm more than what you think.
Exactly. You know,
Mm.
and I do like that dynamic, but I like the twisted part of it all. You know, like what Penguin does. It's like it's like you fucked up, Vic. You
Get
fucked
in there,
up.
Vic.
Get in there.
Get it.
too long.
I thought he was gonna kill him. I'm like, don't do it.
But he says it's like a fuck up is gonna bring you down to like where these guys are. You know, it's like I just want you to like take this moment and learn from this moment. Because if you fuck up again, you might be the next one on the grave.
He's also
Well,
projecting. The Penguin's a master
obviously.
manipulator.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
he-
still a nice dynamic. Like, it's a cool dynamic to see, like on the screen on the show.
Right.
Like Colin Farrell does a really good job, like bringing it on. Also, when it comes to Sophia and Penguin, like how Penguin is sly as hell. Like the way he kind of like again, he just mumbles he whispers a couple of things and just says like, "Yo, everyone thinks you're crazy there." You know, like you're the one who should be. Like
I mean, she was acting.
No, I know.
Mm.
But again,
Scared
like
the shit out of that little girl.
no, but even before that, it was before that. Like the first whisper that Penguin gives her, it's before that, like the funeral procession per se, and it's I think after it's right after that's like they're kind of disrespecting Sophia. I think Vidi disrespects Sophia. Her uncle just like says it's like, yo, like Vidi, shut the hell up. This is my niece. It's like you're gonna talk right. But then he says it's like, yo, I'm the boss. So we're gonna
Dismisses
find
her too.
Mm.
like we're gonna find the rat. Like we're gonna find the rat, and the when and how, that's up to me. It's like you have no say here. Like I know you're grieving and all that, but you're just a figurine.
Mm.
You're just a figurine.
Told her to watch your mouth.
It's like, watch your mouth. You're just a figurine. I don't care if you're my niece and all that. If you step out of line again, you got hell to pay. And then Penguin sees all this, and I love how he just like he reads situations and he reads the room so freaking well.
He's a master manipulator. He's
manipulator. And Colin Farrell just does such a great job in this. And he's
good.
And he just whispers in saying like, "Yo, it's like, you know, I gotta be honest. It's like you should be the one that's leading them. Like hell, like." You're the next in line. Like if Alberto was the next in line, and he's dead, you should be the one.
Oh, sounds like a Rhaenys, the queen.
I was literally gonna say this is screaming Game of Thrones. Like literally Oswald moving the chess pieces around so because he wants to sit in that throne room. He wants to sit on the Iron Throne.
He's Littlefinger. Oswald is
Littlefinger. Sir Laris, who also.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Like, granted, Penguin did like way before conversation, but yes, like the comparison is very valid.
It's Game of Thrones in tuxes and ties.
And how he just like he plants this little seed saying like, yo, like one, you should be the one that's in charge, and two, you know, I've seen how they look at you, and I see like what they say, and I hear what they say behind your back, and it's like they like you're crazy and all that. And like Sophia at first is like, you know, like what the hell are you doing, sweet talking me here? It's like I don't owe you anything, and it's like he's like, no, I owe you. It's like kind of saying it's like, you know, I'm doing this from a good place. It's like I owe you, and it's like I'm just saying. And again, he brings that story then from his mom again, like all that. Again, he gets into her sweet side. He plays into that.
He knows how to lie. He knows how to lie really well.
Family. And yeah, and at the end of and then like you see in the funeral procession how like they're saying like, oh, she's crazy, like she's so unhinged.
She's on egad. She's so unhinged. Look at her.
She was down in all those martinis.
Yeah, like but even before she started downing them, they said before.
Yes, yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, the whole news thing was like
he responds to that by just like going out, and then like she meets with her cousin. And then like her cousin's little kid comes up, her cousin really tenses up, like kind of like that fakeness.
What happened with that? Was it just that she got tense because her daughter came in there, or like what?
Yes.
Was that it?
So pretty much like I forgot the name of the cousin.
Yeah, Carol, and then the daughter's Gia.
No, it's like Carla. I think it's like
Carla. Okay.
So Carla comes in and says like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about what happened. You know, let's reminisce about all the fun that we used to have in Italy and all that, all the trouble we got. Hey, we should do a girls' night, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like a girls' trip." And it's kind of again like that fakeness, and then comes in her daughter, like Carla's daughter, and she tenses up.
Okay, so it's the presence of the daughter that made her tense up.
And she tenses up because, you know, obviously Sophia went to Arkham. She was like the hangman. She's afraid. And again, Sophia for a moment before, like she was kind of like going with Carla, like saying, "Oh, that's kind of nice, you know, that like someone is not viewing me as a psychopath." And then when Gia comes in and she tenses up immediately, Carla tenses up. Oh, it's like, you're just another one. It's like you're. It's like again, she's just feeling everyone is against me. Everyone is against me.
Those words from Oz started getting in there.
Everything that Oswald said, it's like it's coming true. It's coming true. It's coming true. Everything. That seed, oh man, it grew. It grew into a whole big ass tree.
Right. Yeah.
And then at the end, we see the end result of it. Obviously, through Oswald's kind of machinations and like quick thinking of planting evidence where evidence and all that, and framing some other dude. Oswald has kind of shown himself as being, you know, everyone's out to get you, and I'm the only one that has your back.
It's crazy that he orchestrated all of this.
All of this. It's like, I'm the only one that got your back. I told you. It's like, he doesn't say, I told you so, but you can kind of feel it in his demeanor, how he presents himself. It's like, I told you so, but you know what? I got your back. And, you know, regardless of what, like, regardless of you torturing me, like you were about to kill me.
God, dude, yeah, he was gonna like wire that arm off. Jesus Christ.
I still got your back. And then she's like, you know, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna take my rightful place. Are you here with me? And he's like, hell yeah. It's like again, like and all that. And for me, the show does a really good job at this. You know, and like because it just flows. Like all this dialogue, it's this crescendo, this tension that builds up throughout this entire episode.
It's going. It's an
It's
incline.
going in an upward trajectory. And like again, this we've gone in circles about, you know, what you don't like of the show, what we like of the show, and all that, okay? And I think let's just like focus in on what I think we can agree is really good of this show. And I think it's the dialogue and the progression throughout this show. And I know that you said this resembles Better Call Saul. I'm not gonna form an opinion there because I haven't seen Better Call Saul.
Well, one scene in particular, or engagement.
Definitely, like it does such a great job, and I think the portrayal, the acting of Colin Farrell, and I'm sorry, Sophia's actress. Obviously, I've seen her before, but I don't know her.
Kristen Milotti.
Kristen Milotti does a fantastic job. And I just like love the character interactions in between them. And I think like it's an interesting world. It is an interesting world. It's an interesting underworld of Gotham.
We love to see it.
Or the underbelly, the underworld of Gotham. That ugly part, the one that people don't see. Or I would say like the criminal part that people don't see.
And maybe, just maybe, since it's a series, they want to save, you know, the grandiose bit for the finale. Maybe you will get your Batman at the end of the show. Maybe he'll swoop in and he'll, I don't know, get back in the iceberg Cobblepot and starts like juggling him in the air. I don't know. He might do that, but that'll be for the end. For now, with this crescendo, I don't know. I'm on board with the crescendo. It's a powder keg waiting to explode. The fuse is lit. And you're watching that spark go down the line. It's gonna get to the powder keg eventually, but I don't know. I'm here for it. You didn't like the rat catcher bit? The Bruno thing. Isn't that why you have the Bruno background?
No, the Bruno background is because Renzi, who plays Victor, is the voice of
Bruno?
Cousin.
Oh, really?
No, the cousin.
Who?
The cousin who sings this part. That's not Bruno singing.
Oh, okay. So he's the musical talent of that song, right?
He plays the cousin.
Oh, forget it.
He plays the cousin that shapeshifts.
The little brother.
The middle one.
Okay.
Who specifically sings that part. That is Victor.
Oh, right, because he morphs into Bruno in that scene.
Yes.
With rats all on his back. That. Okay.
Like, when it comes to like, you know, we're gonna go around in circles, especially with like the Gotham mythos and blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. I think definitely that we can touch upon it even better at the end of this show.
We'll probably touch on it in episode 4.
But I'm saying,
or 3.
like, let's say for episodes 3, 4, how many episodes does this have? 8? Is it?
I think it was like 8 or 9.
8 or
Too
9.
many.
I want it to be over already, but Agatha's 30 episodes. I can't wait for that.
I think it's just like we'll talk about like the Batman mythos Gotham at the end of the last episode, because it's like again, like this is episode 2.
Episode 2.
If you're pointing your focus in one direction right now, and then you're gonna point your focus in another direction, and then bring it all together at the end of the show, then cool, you can do that. Like we've seen a lot of shows do that.
Okay, it is 8 episodes. 8 episodes. So we Grandmaster. We got 6 more weeks of absolute torture. We got another month and 2 weeks.
Find something better to do on Sundays.
Oh dear Lord.
But
But
it's like I think it's like I would just say come with an open mind. Keep the Gotham stuff.
yes.
Keep the Gotham stuff in the back of your mind.
Yes. Keep it
We're not
there.
saying Like, keep it in the back of your mind.
It's there.
And when it's time to explode, in episode at the end of episode 8, if it gave like the entire show gave you reason to explode on that, explode, and we'll take it.
Blow up.
Like, but we're not gonna be with every episode going around in circles, because hell, maybe next episode they'll do everything you want.
Maybe
more. Maybe they won't.
I hope they. I had hoped they would do it for episode 2.
Maybe they'll mention Lex Luthor next week. Maybe.
Yeah. No, I doubt it.
Maybe they'll see Darkseid just walking, patrolling down Fifth Avenue, Gotham City.
Maybe Jonathan Crane. Actually, gosh, nope. Let me stop.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe.
Easily could have been her psychiatrist.
No, reference. I want references.
Missed opportunity.
Dumb. Enough. But I think that about wraps up what we have here to say about episode 2 of the Penguin. Any final thoughts in general on episode 2? Just where you want to see the series progress from here?
No, like in terms of rating, I give it an 8. I give it an 8 out of 10. Like, really good. Obviously, I think it's not perfection personified, this show. Things I do want to see going forward, I think maybe maybe a little bit more fast-paced in certain aspects. I'm fine with a slow burn. I especially the dialogue.
Yeah.
And the script is really strong. A slow burn can be fine, but eventually you got to pick it up. And I think like that's something I want to see with the show. Also, a part of me just wants to see the Gotham mythos, just so Grandmaster Hoop doesn't have anything else to say. But no, yeah, like, let's see where it goes. I want to see how everything kind of implodes between Sophia and Oswald, and his eventual rise to become the Penguin. But yeah, like, I give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and let's see where it goes from here.
All right. Grandmaster, any final controversial thoughts on episode 2?
I want the Penguin. I want his mother to come up to him and say, Oz, your father's hat. He loved wearing it and doing his Abraham Lincoln impression. I think he'd want you to have it. Oh, it's raining, Oz. Don't forget your umbrella.
Gotham is real!
Then the Penguin looks back one last time at his mother and says, excellent. Hey, yo, Vic, I need you to go break me a dozen penguins out of the Gotham Zoo. I'm going to strap some rockets to them and blow up the Moroni's foundation.
And I need a bacon, egg, and cheese.
The Aki way.
There you go. All right, folks. We'll end it there for tonight. Let us know what you think of the Penguin down in the comments below. Be sure to tune in next week when we deep dive episode 3. And join us live for the controversy over on the YouTube channel. Link in the description box down below. With that, everyone, I'm your Yonko host, Dr. DrJaceAttorney, fellow Yonko Grandmaster Hoop, and Supernova Dr. Mondo. The controversy continues. Gotham is real. We'll see you on the next one.